Hi, it's John from Android Addicts, and this is a battery drain test for the Galaxy S21. So this is my Exynos 2100 variant. So what I thought we would do is drain the battery from 100 down to 0 and just see how long the phone would last. So it's got a 4000 mAh battery. I've got power saving mode turned on because at this point in time that was actually a benefit to the processor, and the screen is at full brightness. So we've got an hour of PUBG to start with. Now it's set to smooth and extreme for the whole video, and you'll be able to see the frames per second counter down at the bottom of the screen, and also the thermometer, which is monitoring the system temperature, in the bottom left of the phone screen. You'll also see the floating battery widget up there. So I play through each game for an hour, and after my PUBG session we have an hour of YouTube, followed by an hour of COD Mobile, followed by another hour of YouTube, and then an hour of Genshin Impact. After that I moved on to Call of Duty again just to finish off. There was only a few percent left, so I've put time codes in the description so you can quickly jump to whichever game you wish to see. As you can see though, PUBG is quite happy at 60 frames per second, just the odd dip every now and again. Okay, so if we have a look at the results here, we can see that the battery went from 100% down to 79% with an hour of PUBG. So you can expect around about 21% per hour. Now don't forget, this was running at full brightness. So if you run your phone at 50% brightness, you can expect a bit less than 21%, maybe around, I don't know, 18 or 19, I'd guess. But you can see here from the average FPS, 56.7, it's not bad at all. Pretty much 60 all the way through. The drops you can see in the graph there are from me starting new games, so you can ignore those. There was quite a long drop towards the end, which was me probably going for a break, so that would have affected the average FPS. But basically 60 FPS is the sort of norm for PUBG. So we started at 32 degrees for this test. Now the phone had already warmed up quite a bit as I was preparing to record the video. We hit a maximum of 36 degrees, but then we dropped back down to 35 degrees, which didn't seem to affect the frame rate too much. So around about 36, depending on your ambient temperature, which around here is about 18 degrees. Okay, so next up I just ran through an hour of YouTube. So again, we started at 79%, and I'm going to run through this very quickly because it's not very interesting. It's just a YouTube playlist. I'm also not going to bother with the frames per second because it doesn't really matter for this test. You can see there it's all running at 30 frames per second pretty much constantly. So like I said, I'm not going to put up the frame rate chart here, I'm just going to show you the battery drain for YouTube. And we can see that we went from 79% down to 69%, so that's 10% per hour of YouTube. Okay, so temperature wise, we started at about 35 degrees. Obviously we'd just finished playing PUBG, and then we actually went down to a sort of stable 27 degrees by the end of it. Okay, next up is Call of Duty Mobile. So we started here at 67%. We're on the low graphics quality with the max frame rate. You can see the dips there as we start new games, as the menu is only running at 30 frames per second. Okay then, so let's have a look at the COD Mobile results here. So we can see that we went from 67% battery down to 49%, which is an 18% per hour drain. And average frames per second, 54.6, pretty good. You can see the dips there again, which will be counting against the average whilst it's in the main menu. But you can see pretty much overall during the gameplay, it's sticking around 59, 60 frames per second quite happily. So temperature wise, we started at 29 degrees following the YouTube videos, and we went up to 35 degrees Celsius. So an increase of 6 degrees there for COD. Okay, so next up we had another hour of YouTube here. So we started at 48% for this one. And we can see the results here that the battery went from 48 down to 36%, which is a drain of 12%. Temperature wise, the phone went from 35 degrees back down to 28 degrees whilst watching. Right, last but not least, we have Genshin Impact here. So we started at 35% battery here for this one, and this is on low and 60 FPS. Okay, so let's have a look at the Genshin Impact results here. So we went from 35% battery down to 4%, which means it's about 31% per hour, so that's quite a lot really. You wouldn't really be able to play Genshin for too long, maybe 3 hours at a max. And we can see here the average frame rate of 43.6. Temperature wise, we got into the game and it was 31 degrees, and then we got all the way up to 41 degrees, so that's an increase of 10 degrees, which is quite a lot. So it does get very toasty when playing Genshin Impact. Okay, so for the last 4% of the test, I just went back into COD Mobile and had a few games just to drain out the last few percent. Okay, so that concludes the Exynos 2100 Galaxy S21 battery drain test. And we can see we got a total time of about 5 hours and 21 minutes, which isn't too bad. We can see that the highest draining game there was Genshin Impact at 31% an hour, and the lowest draining game was actually COD Mobile at 18% per hour. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. If you want to become a member of the channel, click on the join button, and that really helps out. I've got some more Exynos and Snapdragon Galaxy S21 videos coming soon, so be sure to hit the bell so that you're notified when those come out. And if you have any comments or queries, let me know down below in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.